there are some people who think attitudes and actions towards pedophiles should be adjusted.
We have a school administrator in California actually arguing that we need to, and they are, even as we speak, teaching pedophilia to children as just another option for sexual orientation. Give us the story.
You know, this concerned mother asked the assistant superintendent of curricula in the Brea Olinda School District in California why they were teaching children pedophilia and normalizing anal sex. What she says is, well, you know, this is a sexual orientation that has occurred, and so it's, quote, really important to teach the children about this, and they are.
Answer me why you're teaching pedophilia in school at ninth graders.
Teaching what?
Pedophilia, pederasty, right here.
I've explained to you that this is done because we are talking about historical perspectives of how gender relations and different types of sexual orientations have existed in history.
A growing storm of protest over these sex ed books. With drawings so graphic, we can't show them to you on TV. For students curious about their sexual orientation or just wanting to know more about sexual activities.
And different sexual acts that are extremely harmful to them, that are going to put them in physical, emotional, and mental harm.
Too much too early. Too much too early. Let kiss be kissed.
They're against a new sex ed curriculum that would be taught in Fremont schools. It would include discussion of sexual orientation and HIV in 5th grade.
It's very sexually explicit to a lot of them.
The guidelines are about sex trafficking, sexual orientation, and how to support transgender and LGBTQ students. Now, proponents say this is all needed to make sure that all students understand their sexual health and that they're aware of the reality of the world that we live in.
Including Planned Parenthood.
We don't want students and children and parents to be in a situation where they are just mindlessly searching on the internet and who knows what they're going to find.
The Associate Superintendent for Instruction said the subject matter has been vetted by experts.
Is pedophilia a sexual orientation? A psychologist at the world-renowned Center for Addiction and Mental Health in Toronto says yes. Dr. James Cantor says pedophilia is an inborn condition, not a learned sexual behavior.
Nobody chooses to be attracted to whatever it is that they're attracted to. Nobody chose to be attracted to adults. Nobody chose to be attracted to children.
The theory is becoming more prominent. Last fall, the American Psychological Association was criticized when its most recently published psychologist's manual called Pedophilia an Orientation.
A small group of psychiatrists and other mental health professionals is advocating changes to the way the American Psychiatric Association defines pedophilia in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or DSM, saying those they call minor attracted persons are being unfairly stigmatized. Dr. Fred Berlin, associate professor at Johns Hopkins University Medical School, was a keynote speaker at a conference held by the group in Baltimore, Maryland last week.
If there are people out there who are attracted through no fault of their own towards children, we want to try to assist them.
But Berlin admits there were some at the conference who suggested sexual relations between adults and children are acceptable.
The whole conference was slanted very clearly to the notion that pedophilia was a normal variation of human sexual conduct.
The group Berlin spoke to has one goal: to move society a step closer to accepting sexual contact between adults and children, even decriminalize it.
Absolutely. Oh, they're very clear about that. Their goal is to take all shame out of the lust for children.
Pedophilia is an unchangeable sexual orientation, just like, for example, heterosexuality. No one chooses to be a pedophile. No one can cease being one.
At American public libraries and in public schools, we're inviting transvestites to come to read to our kindergartners who actually have records, twice it happened in Houston, for having molested kids in the past.